Try to keep family friendly
Okay.
about that. I started the broadcast. I'm just gonna wait a little bit because my intro gets cut off a lot. It'll just get
All
edited
right.
later. Start time's about 2:30, so yeah. All right. Once I introduce everything, whatever, just let people know a little bit about you, I guess.
All right.
All right, here we go. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to another episode of Teamwatch. It's been a while since the ZZOW episode. This is episode 12. Today I have with me ZZOW. Um, he is a member of the community. Not really sure a whole lot about him, but I'll let him introduce himself to you.
Yo, what's up, guys? My name is ZZOW. My real name is ZZ, so that explains it. Um, on console, I was 4600. I left there as 4600 and went to PC. Made a 3-month grind, and right now I'm sitting at 4.3K. Um, and I'm currently coaching Saints, Turnback, and I'm taking a part-time coaching with Vanquish or Mini Vanquish, excuse me, and Broken Dagger.
Interesting. So you're coaching like all these different teams that are playing in like tourneys and GMs and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because I remember when you were asking about the Team Watch episode, like you were giving me like your whole backstory. I'm like, whoa, it was just like it was just like all this overload of information. Actually, I don't remember a whole lot about it. But
Uh,
sorry,
well,
go
yeah,
ahead.
I just wanted to make cause I literally, I don't think I've ever met you, but I know that you were pretty big in the AGL, and I don't know how that never happened, but I just wanted to make sure we were on a same page,
You don't know how
cause
that
I
never
know a lot of,
happened?
well, I don't know how we haven't met, and I've been in like
Oh,
AGL forever.
I see.
That's what I mean. So it could be because you joined when I was on, like, just started coaching instead of playing for
Uh,
AGL. So that could be why. And I'm not really like discreet that I'm coaching. Like only way that people find out is usually when if I have to set up a scrim or if people just ask.
mm,
I
I
think
see.
the most discreet one was probably Saints, but that's because of amateur gamer, like putting it in the power ranking.
Hmm, interesting. No, that is interesting. So have you been keeping up with the GM AGL league at all?
Yeah, I had to, since I have to coach turnback for that, we're kind of having some difficulties because some of the players are like having really bad scheduling issues.
Yeah,
So I typically don't focus on the other teams, but I understand there's really good teams built right now.
because I also have no idea what's going on in the AGL GM league because just I've been working and it just falls on the wrong day and work has got me crazy, like legit.
Uh, yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I think it would be too much if I try to focus on all the other teams. I just want to focus on my team.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
just
just
understand that MSB, uh, the dedicateds are both supposed to be really good.
hmm
We're doing a lot of scrims with dedicated red, I
yeah.
think. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I just know there's really good teams there.
That's really interesting. This is, the next team watch episode is probably going to be someone who's really into the GM league, but that's besides the point. Today we're talking about you. So how did you get your start in this AGL? Like, how did you find Amateur Gamers League and or not just league, but the community itself? Like, bring me through that origin.
Okay, so I think I was 3.8 KSR on console. I literally just made it there. I think this is like when I was like a 1 star, like a legitimate 1 star, 3.8K. And I was just, I think, screwing around in a custom game, like before, like on a paintball and stuff like that. It
Yeah.
was just like it was one of those dumb ones. And Mega Milani joins it. Um, he sees. I think he checks out my career profile. I don't know, but he invites me to a party,
Yeah.
and he says, "Do I know anything about AGL?" I say, "No." I have no clue what it was. Um, he basically explains it all to me, and I get an invite to Discord. I've never used Discord before that. Uh,
Mhm.
I joined Discord. I tried
Mhm.
to join a tournament for about 2 months, or I mean a month, and I finally get one, and it was what today's current turnback is.
Ah, you were
It
on
was with,
turnback.
yeah, it was with the only people that you would probably recognize is Dud and MW3.
I know MW3. I don't know Dud.
Gamer Dud. He's one of the Overguard staff now, I think. But he
Gamer,
was
like Kalik or Calibro or
no, his name is the Gamer Dud.
I know I have never heard of him before.
Okay, so he was it was kind of a running joke because he was a Platinum Lucio in like a Masters tournament.
Yeah.
It was really funny because he like owned Turnback, and yeah, I'm surprised you don't know him. He's like I don't know, he converted from being a player to being like a staff, but yeah, that was about it. MW and Gamer Dud were the only people you'd probably know. I think it was Mr. Dog and Wins. You might know Wins. He has played a bit in AGL.
No, I don't
And
know
yeah,
him.
that was pre-season 1 AG.
Hmm.
And yeah, I played only that season because I didn't play season 1.
Yeah.
Because I let my friend Snoozy Q, or I found my friend Snoozy Q, and he was basically doing the opposite of what I was doing. He was on PC and he just played on PS4 for fun. He
Mhm.
was 4.4K on PC and he just made an account on PS4 and he's never played PS4, so he's gotten I think he placed 3.5 and he just like plays sim and stuff, but I yeah, he just played for the rest of that season and I think they did really bad.
Mhm.
And that's kind of when Turnback started to get boring because that's when we started picking up players like TDT, also known as Legacy,
Yeah, I know him.
Delion, El Jacko was around there at that time. And yeah, just that's when Turnback was kind of becoming a bigger thing.
Yeah.
And that's when I moved from being a player to coach because I wanted to play more on PC because that was like the time that was near the time you came around AGL
Yeah.
and in the time where I was just kind of abstaining from it.
Yeah, no, I get you there. That's really interesting. Like Mega Mulani bringing his people in and it becomes something that's pretty cool. Um, so you went you went from console to PC. Obviously PC is like the master race and everything. Um, what's what's your personal experience with like the playstyle differences? I know everything's
Um,
supposed to be like faster and more whatnot, but uh, just give me a couple details on like
okay,
what your thoughts.
so I can give you tips and details. Don't play comp straight at level 25. You're gonna get placed gold. That's what happens to almost any person that's converted. That's just a big tip because you're gonna feel really down about yourself,
Well, that's
and
when
you're
playing
probably not gonna
Overwatch
want to
in
play.
general too. Like I've heard tell like at least you should get your first star.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that on console because I was a 1 star in like High Master, but that's just me. I could just be genuinely good or just genuinely like FP or like a first person shooter person. I have
Yeah.
no clue. Um, but yeah, so on PC, it's a different playstyle. Um, but I will say if you were top 500 on PS4, if you do practice and put enough effort into it, you would definitely find it easier than someone that is just like newly to PC. Like, you're not gonna feel like it's a completely different game. You'll just find the playstyle differently, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, the aiming is certainly insane. You'll feel that the people that you've met on console that were keyboard and mouse, you'll definitely feel they were really bad compared to the people that are on keyboard and mouse all the time.
Yeah.
Like, if you've ever met a console keyboard and mouser, they are typically plat to gold on PC. It's kind of why they're very insecure about it.
I
I,
guess.
okay, so I know you said not to trash people, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that's considered trashing. That's kind of just a thing because they're used to playing against people that can't strafe as well or can't aim as
Yeah.
well.
Well,
So when
that's
they
just the
move,
skill thing in general. Yeah.
yeah, so when they move to PC, it's like they genuinely aren't used to it.
Well, I mean,
So
people who go to PC aren't used to it in general. It's everyone's got their own learning curve, I
yeah,
would
yeah,
assume.
yeah. But I mean, if you've been playing keyboard and mouse like on a console, and
Hmm.
you do move to PC, I I think that would be genuinely harder than moving from controller to PC, in my opinion. But that could be just because different people.
No,
Um,
I can see that there.
and so yeah, the playstyle it's gonna be definitely different. Different. You do have to. I would find myself grinding way harder on PC than I did on console ever because it feels more like a mechanically skill based
Hmm.
is definitely a part of everything because finding your aim since your DPI and like generally your feel with your mouse and keyboard definitely felt a lot harder than controller considering it's just factory based, or at
Hmm.
least mine was.
Hmm.
So it felt like I was given more tools to succeed, and it's mattering on how you use those tools
Yeah, no,
is
for sure.
how your conversion process is gonna go.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I've been wanting to go to PC myself just because I just want to try the top tier of Overwatch to see how it is, but it's really kind of expensive investment. Well, I mean, I heard you get started for like $800, but it's not gonna be like the best PC or whatever, but still.
Well, I can tell you, my PC is $600. If I told any person that knew anything about PCs, they would ask me how I even run on these specs. But it was $600. I did build it myself.
Well, building it you
I
can get in a lot cheaper too.
I found building it myself super simple and super easy. Like it felt like playing with Legos. But
Oh.
yeah, so I think it's super easy to convert. If you do not want to like go back, like even look back at PS4, I think if you just sold your PS4, you'd have enough. Like you would probably have $200 with no games if you did just sell it like that. But
Well,
with games, you
depends
could
on who you
probably
sell
get
it to.
yeah. Uh,
Like you're
I
not
didn't
gonna
sell my
get that at
PS4,
GameStop.
obviously. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I would never buy it. I would like never do GameStop.
GameStop's not
Um,
too bad, depending on what you're there for. But anyway,
I wouldn't sell games at GameStop, is what I'm saying, or sell anything at GameStop.
if you're,
But that's me.
yeah, no, I get you. Yeah.
Um,
Anyway,
yeah. So I just find it super easy. But yeah, go on.
no, I was just saying, the conversion for PCs is just interesting in general, and it's probably just an end goal for end goals. But yeah, what do you think of this new? Have you been keeping up with the Overwatch League?
Yeah.
Who do you root for?
Um, Dallas Fuel. So I don't know if I don't know if I've ever said this to you, but Dallas Fuel. So since I did hit 4.3K in 2 seasons, I am like available for contenders. Or, I mean
Really?
open league and Dallas Fuel. So you know Effect.
Yeah.
So he personally hit me up with his personal account, not the one that's in like the Overwatch Discord.
Yeah.
And I was super surprised. I thought it was a fake, right?
Yeah.
So I add the I add him, and I thought that was just like a coincidence. He just add me at the same time that this person told me to add him, which is I know sounds really like paranoid, but like it just sounds really sketchy.
Mhm.
And yeah, so I met Effect, and so basically Dallas has a sub team, and I'm on that with Zerg, Supersize Me, and three people that most people don't really know. One is named Mullah, the other one's named Kachow. It's like Kchow. He's like super Korean. And
Huh.
yeah, that happened about in December when I had to like basically do tryouts for that for like 3 weeks, and I couldn't be in Discord or anything. So yeah,
Interesting.
that's
So
why I vote for Dallas Fuel.
you're on a sub team, so like
Okay,
the
so if you
backups
say
of the
sub team,
backups.
people will be yeah, because the sub team is people that really can't like contest for OWL because I am 15,
Yeah.
and they it would have to be an insane scenario where like four of the people on the OWL team would have died, and they would have had a 5-man roster, and they would need to have to pull someone up. Like that's when they would make the obsession, or I mean exception. But it would
Exception.
also have to be, yeah, sorry. I have a lisp, really
It's
bad
all
one.
good, dude.
And yeah, they would have to make the exception if it was like all 4 DPS, if it was like Seagull, Taimu, Effect. That's when they would, yeah, that would be the only way possible.
So you're you're okay. That's actually kind of crazy, because I thought there was like so the law. So it's not a law. It's an Overwatch League rule. You have to be 18, with exception to be to play. I thought that was to get paid for it at least, right? Is that how that works?
Uh, you can get paid for it at any age. They can pick you up at any age, but it has to be like a realistic age, like Sinatra. Like Sinatra's at a realistic age to pick him up, but not being able to play. Because he's 17, obviously.
Yeah.
But if he was 16, they would probably ignore him until maybe a year later.
Huh. Interesting.
So I'm just kind of taking the early step. Like I'm trying to just like get near the league as close as I can or at 15. You know
That'd
what I
be
mean?
pretty
Because
cool.
like
Yeah. No, I get you.
that's like as far as I can really go right now.
That's still really cool how this whole thing, because you're a good PC player enough to be on a sub team, I guess, of people who could potentially be in like these Overwatch professional teams, and like this community of amateur gamers is talking to you, which is just like another step into the direction of like us being possibly a bigger community. It's just that's just kind of crazy, like to
Yeah, do
just
you know
the
Kai
grasp.
Kai?
Kai Kai, I don't.
He's the Dallas Field coach.
Yeah.
Um, I was gonna have him try to talk to my Broken Dagger team because one thing is a lot of the players they what's it called? I can't really I can't really describe it, but yeah, I was gonna have Kai Kai at least like analyze one of their VODs and see what
Or
he
yeah, like
thinks.
review it or something, and like he's like, hey, this, that, and that, and this and that.
Yeah, so I don't know if that adds to your excitement, but
That is kind
I
of
thought that would
cool.
be a cool thing to add.
Yeah, no, legit. No, that's just really cool in general. Um, but yeah, so you, that's just like this is really cool. Um, yeah, no, what did you? So did you watch the Dallas Fuel game versus Valiant yesterday?
Yeah, I was like non-existent on Discord until the end of it because I was just watching like hardcore trying to
I haven't.
analyze it.
See, I was working yesterday, or actually, well, I was off during the time, but I I can't remember what I was doing yesterday. Oh no, I was hanging out with a friend, um, that I promised to hang out with, but I never got to watch the game. But I just heard like Valiant won 3-0, or they were at a point where they were 3-0. Did how did that game go, or how can you describe that game?
Uh, well, you did say to keep it PG-13, so I won't use the word I would usually use, but I think LA kind of just they waited really long to like I don't know. I think they gave Dallas too much hope, it looked like I know I'm a Dallas fan, but it was definitely LA's game. Uh, only thing that really excited me about that game is Seoul versus LA Valiant. I think that would be probably the best game in the league right now
Like,
because of how close Seoul and Dallas was. So
really?
I would want to see how
How
that
did
game
that
went.
game go? Because I didn't watch the other ones because they didn't really intrigue
That
me that much. But that's
the
interesting. This whole
the
Dallas
Dallas
game.
Seoul one was 2-1 Seoul, and there was a tied game.
Oh my. Oh, so it
So
went to the fifth game, or you said 2-1?
no. They just got a yeah, it was 2-1.
Well, they
If
played four
there's a
games
if,
though.
yeah, and one was tied.
Oh, and they just left it there.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
I
I
thought
don't
because
really
I thought
like
when
that,
I was
but
listening to the stream, they were saying if it was a tie game, they would have done like a control point tiebreaker though.
uh, I have no clue. I just know they left the game untied.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, I really don't like that, but I mean, I guess.
That's really weird. I'm gonna have to look into that later. But yeah, no, that's really interesting though because I was trying to choose a team for like the longest time, and I ended up going with Valiant because the color scheme was cool, and I liked a couple of the players. Like I'm a big fan of Unko, uh, and
Oh, soon.
Soon is pretty
He's
good.
he's like,
I like Silk Thread a lot myself too. He's pretty interesting. But yeah,
cause like, so when Soon was playing on the NA servers, I've only played one game with him. When he plays on NA servers, like he was on my team, right?
hmm.
I insta-lock tracer from him, and he starts like screaming, and I was just dying laughter, and then I just went Zarya, and then he's like, okay, I don't know, dude. He's just really like to me, he's funny.
No, that's pretty awesome to actually play with a professional. Like that's just crazy. And I'm yeah, that's really interesting. This is the reason I want to play on PC because all these big names are playing on PC, and it's like this opportunity to get good and get better. I don't play Overwatch as much as I should, probably because, well, I don't like playing by myself. But then again, I don't know. I'd probably play way more on PC. But
Yeah. I mean, you just gotta like separate yourself from most things PC. I mean PS4. And just like take the time to yourself, like take like a month off for yourself, so that you can really just like develop everything keyboard and mouse. Like, imagine you're like taking a trip away from like your homeland to like go to Korea to
oh,
prepare
and like yeah,
for your mouse and keyboard
oh my gosh.
adventure.
Yeah. No, I'd probably still play my PS4 just because like I still have a bunch of friends here and I can't just like leave them, like some of my best dudes. But yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I understand that. I'm just saying like the best scenario for a PC career would probably be doing that. But I know a lot of people don't do that.
yeah.
Like I think Mega's doing like Mega Milani, he's doing like cuz I think we're pretty good friends, I think. I don't know, he's probably going to watch this and say no, lol. But so he's doing like a really similar thing to that, and like he's pretty much like abstaining from coaching, I think, all three of his teams to like work on his PC Overwatch
Huh.
for I think a month too. Like exact scenario. Just like a little different.
That's just crazy. Um Yeah,
Yeah, and you
no.
know Mega. He knows like literally everyone.
Mega is
So
like that
that's
all person knowing of everybody, but yeah, he's an all right dude. We had his team. Did you watch his Team Watch episode from a couple episodes back?
uh. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch all of it, but I did watch like the first 10 minutes.
Oh
I
yeah,
watched all of ZZOW, so I don't know, that one was easier to watch, if that makes sense.
I
I
guess.
like ZigZag's voice, it's nice.
That's what everyone from like when you
Yeah,
listen to a
it was
four.
like intriguing, dude.
Oh my gosh,
Like I couldn't turn off my phone.
jeez, like what
It
was
could
it?
be because the recommended video under Mega Milani's was like something I really wanted to watch, and then I forgot about it. But
Ah,
yeah, I don't know. It could be it could be YouTube screwing you guys over again.
when did you first start hearing about Team Watch? Now I'm like curious. Like what was that like?
I I think when it was Mr. Inksack, I think. But
Wow,
like I really was like thinking about it after the Mega one because I'm like, hey, I should probably do that.
I should probably do that. Yeah, no, it was really interesting. Like during the AGL season 2, um, there was just a whole lot going on, honestly, and there was a lot of there was just a lot of things that really kind of halted Team Watch for a bit there, and but we're out progressing now, and I mean this I think between the zigzag and this episode is going to be a while too, but you know what? We moving out here, we trucking along. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so. Who do you play with like a team on PC or do you play mostly solo by yourself or what's up with that?
Well, I have to solo like all the time because they're just gonna like if you don't solo and people like start to figure that out, they're kind of just gonna discredit your SR because it's like way easier. Like so Kefri, Sinatra, and Zombs, since they all kind of like queue like as big groups,
Yeah.
it's kind of just a known thing. Like they should be lower than what they are, even though like everyone just sees from the outside that like oh they're god players or whatever. But most people on PC just think they like it's just kind of a thing.
So you play with a group and you're discredited because you win more because you play as a team better.
Um, no, not exactly that.
How do okay,
It's
explain to
if
me
you
then.
play as a four stack, right?
Yeah.
So ladder should like people think ladder should just be basically solo or duo queue because once you start bringing teams into it, it becomes unfair for the other team. Even though that you might think that like they'll just pair you up with another four stack, that's typically not the case. That's like one out of 10 times that will happen, and that's usually like the videos you'll see on like YouTube where it's like Sinatra's like five stack versus Kefri's four stack, something like that.
Yeah.
But it's typically never like that. It's typically a bunch of solo queuers versus that, and as a solo queuers, you're definitely not going to have the same communication to that level. So
S-
it's already unfair at the start of the match that you don't have that aspect.
Are the comms just as messed up like people not talking choosing just to like whatever and just play comp?
Um, I'd say past Diamond, it starts getting better, but
Yeah.
it's still it's still interesting times. But I definitely found PC way less toxic than PS4.
Huh.
I would definitely say that's one of the big positives. That past Diamond, you'll probably never find a toxic. You'll probably find like a 1 out of 20, and that's 1 out of 20
Cuz
like
that's
games
not what
that
I
you'll.
heard. I heard
I
cuz I
I don't know,
watch
dude.
I watch
I'm just keeping it real.
No, I get you. I watch who are those guys? The your Overwatch whatever and they've had videos before where they're saying like grandmaster people are like the most toxic of people. Um but I don't know.
Um,
I
you could
haven't
say Grandmaster people are the most cocky of people. I don't think they're that toxic. I don't find myself that toxic when I'm in game. I'm definitely a toxic coach, but I'm definitely not a toxic player.
I get you.
Um, Only issue with that is usually when people, sorry, I know you said not to say people are bad or anything, but
Well, I just meant like naming out people. Like if you're talking about this, like anyway, just go on.
okay, so when people typically aren't very good at the game, they're usually in denial. That's a that's like a thing for most things. Like, and if you suck, if you're not good at basketball, you could blame it all on the referee, right? That's kind of what people do in Overwatch. If they're hard stuck master, they're typically gonna blame stuff that's usually very infactual or something that happens very little. And that's what I think people that complain about toxicity above Diamond and Overwatch is happening. Because I found it, like, if you've played PC, or you've played PS4 comp at a master level, right?
Yeah, not for a
Like,
while, but yeah.
okay, so there's, I, like, the toxicity you're finding on PS4, like, toned down by twice as much. Like, if you move to PC, like if you commit to that, I think anyone that ever has will find it so less toxic. You can ask PvP. He's like one of the highest SR people that have done it because he's like typically 4600 all the time on PC. And he was like the same on console, and people discredit him because he's a Junkrat main. But I think that just gives him more crediting because he found like he's using a hero that's typically out of the meta all the time. The only
Yeah.
time he was in the meta was at first at his double and mine buff. But that's where people are completely wrong. Because that's when he should be getting more credit for being top 10
Yeah.
almost every season. And sorry, that went off track, but
It's
if
all
you
good,
did ask
dude.
PvP, he would probably agree with me that PS4 is more toxic than PC. Or console in general, because I've heard Xbox is worse than both.
Yeah, yeah. I think it all comes down to people as well, because like it's not just like people are like, oh, when they go in masters and they're gonna complain like, oh, I'm in masters because this. Like I know people that I work with personally who blame like this only happened because of this, and they don't want to. They just push blame on like everything, and I'm just like, okay, or we could just accept this happens and move on and whatever, do our thing. Um, this is just sometimes people are just bad people, and you can't really do about it, but or do anything much about it. But no, I get you. I really do.
Yeah, so I think going back to your question about what's different about PC, I think I forgot to mention it. Ladder is a completely different way. I think most top 500s on PS4 would tell you a formula on how to climb out of any rank. At least I would, because I have a formula for any rank on PS4 at least, and PC, I haven't been there long enough to like really observe one or make one.
What's
I just
your
kind of do what I want.
what are you talking about? So you have a strategy on breaking out of every rank. What's the strategy for
Yeah.
PS4 then?
Bronze, you can solo queue if you're good enough. Silver, you can typically solo to duo queue. Golds, I think you want to go more into those bigger stacks. You probably want to go to 2 to 3, and you probably don't want to join team chat. Probably, depending how high SR you actually were.
Mhm.
And platinum, I think all you want to do is 4 stack, if I'm remembering correctly. All you want to do is 4 stack out of plat, and then diamonds. God, I hate that one. You probably just want a 3 stack, and never join team chat. Never join team chat.
Oh
Please
my
never
gosh.
join team chat in diamond. Like, I know that's gonna seem really toxic, like to the other people playing, but like, if they would know better, they would know that diamond is by far the worst talking.
I think Diamond is pretty
Uh,
much a pretty average place to
yeah,
be,
that's
and that's where you're gonna probably find the most toxic people.
yeah, it's kind of the platinum for PC was where the most average is, and I know a lot of console players like don't want to admit it, but this isn't actually downing console players. It's just how the average SR has
The
worked.
conversion works. Yeah, because I have a lot of friends or other friends who went to PC from console, and they're like masters in console, and then they get to, and they're like, oh, I just broke platinum today and got to diamond and whatnot, and
Yeah,
or they just get, or they're stuck in platinum or something like that. Yeah, so
I
I
think all
know.
the
Sorry, go ahead.
no, you can go. You were talking.
No, I was just saying that it's kind of like a shift. Like it's a little harder to break the ranks in PC probably. For just the general from what I've heard. Um, and people,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, I think all the PC elitists, they're just super delusional. They think that console is like 3 rank difference, but I think it's like if 300 to 500 SR difference, maybe. But that's just going off of my experience, like 4.6 to 4.3, like
hmm
maybe a 300 difference. But I think PC has a really similar formula to the PS4 formula I was talking about. But I just haven't been there long enough to really expose it because I was on PS4 for about a year, and I've only been on PC for about 3 to 4 months. So I couldn't tell you exactly the formula for PC, but for PS4, I think I have it cracked down all the way because I don't do this anymore. But when I used to boost accounts on PS4, um, I just stuck by this formula all the time.
huh, interesting. And well, that's just so. Is there there's a rule, a legitimate rule about boosting, correct? Is that true?
A legitimate rule. Like you
Like
can't do
you
it
can
if
get
you're in any
banned.
pro gaming thing. Yeah, if you're in any pro gaming, this is just for any
Well,
game though.
I'm talking. Yeah, I was just
You,
talking about like besides just pro gaming, like the average player. Uh, because I didn't assume that it would be like a rule or whatever. I don't think there's some kind of law against it, but I know by Blizzard standards, is there something in there like oh, our agreement, you have to agree to this, whatever, is boosting a thing that you can't do, like give someone's account to get it higher. Because honestly, if let's say someone does that and whatever, they're gonna cause people to lose. Like if you boost a platinum account and you're gonna try to go to masters, you're gonna beat people who are in platinum and diamond who probably either might have lost, but they're gonna definitely lost instead of having that chance to win or whatever. But eventually, those people are gonna go back down too. So I don't know.
um, well, Overwatch, like Blizzard themselves, they give really big boundaries for their players. Like they allow you to have in a second account to like they think that's fine. Um like they agree with you that you should have a second account to practice, not to like elo destroy. They just
Yeah.
think that if you like were like a let's say tracer one trick, cough cough me, but if you made a second account as the tracer one trick, so on PS4 they're really like the PS system like is really nice for this. Like you can make as many accounts as you want, I think, under what I know, or it's like 10 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can make as many accounts as you want on PS4, and that second account they'll agree with. Like you can make that account and just like if you're trying on that second account, they agree with it. But I think that's putting a little too much faith into their Overwatch community, thinking that they will all just try their hardest on that second account. And that's kind of where I think they have a problem because although they are giving you that freedom to have that second account really because they could just restrict it in a way that would probably seem really dumb.
Yeah.
That is probably one of their biggest problems, giving too much freedom, but I kind of like it. I think it's fine. It's just the people that like on the daily have to deal with it that are like seriously trying to climb out of their elo, um, those are just games that you can't do anything about, and they're games that you need to forget about. That's the only way you're gonna like ever get past it, because like that's being huck up, or I mean that's like being stuck up on like an old girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna find a new not gonna find a new girlfriend if you're still stuck on that one. You just have
Yeah.
to
No,
forget about it.
no, I get you. I get you. Yeah, like you will all too well.
It's not something Blizzard can do. It would be way too restricting to like make it so there's no boosters or second encounters. Like
Yeah.
I think just people need to just they have to learn their own way of dealing with it. I sure as heck had to. Uh, can I? Never mind. Yeah, you can go on. Sorry, I talk too much.
No, dude, this is good. This is your episode. This is about you and what do the people need to know about the ZZOW?
Um, Super toxic.
A lot of people I interview or not interview. Dang it! I hate it when they're like, "Oh, can I get going for the interview?" It's not an interview. It's a podcast. We're both talking about whatever. Questions come up, but questions always come up. So, anyway, what was I saying before I vented? Oh yeah, a lot of people I podcast with are toxic. It's whatever. I try to keep the toxicity to a minimum. That was really hard with who I don't even know who my most toxic podcast was. Because Mulani's probably the most
Mr.
toxic
Inksack.
person I know. I was gonna say Inksax was pretty chill. Actually,
The only thing I think I'm more toxic than Mulani, but
really,
that would be
that's saying a lot. Like that, I'm really surprised.
okay. Let me put this into facts. So you know he's from Canada, right?
I guess, yeah.
Me and him had a 3-hour argument about which one had more freedom of speech.
Like which country?
Yeah, like after like just watching a scrim, cause like we're like co-coaching some teams now, and after watching a scrim, we had like 3 hours of which country had more freedom of speech. Like, so I don't know if we're either even on the toxicity or like close to it, cause like we're both so stubborn
Oh my gosh.
that it like was a 3-hour argument, and I did win, by the way. Easy clap.
Don't start that. Oh gosh. I can already hear Mulani typing in the chat like, no.
No, dude, I heard him say it. He said I technically won. So yeah, easy clap. I think I just bring my toxicity in like a more formal matter. I think I give it to people that deserve it more, less than just giving it out everywhere.
Mhm.
So that's why I said I'm a toxic coach, not a toxic player. Because if you ask anyone on Saints or Turnback, they'll definitely tell you I'm really toxic.
I guess so. I mean, well, people, that's the same thing because when you're coaching or trying to teach someone, constructive criticism is always a good thing. Or do you go more like the drill sergeant, like, you're a piece of maggots, like, I can't believe you can't out-heal that damage? Or what?
Probably a mix. So let's take example for Xiao. I usually ask him if he has a controller or he's using a touchpad, because he sometimes misses so bad it makes my eyes cringe. Like I literally have to close my eyes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Jeez.
And Zig. Oh god, I feel bad for Zig, dude. I always yell at him.
Dang. You are the toxic of people.
Yes, I know. And Zig is like, Zig and Xiao, I think they get it the most, but Xiao doesn't really care that much. I feel bad about it. Because I think Zig just, he sometimes can't handle it at times. Which feels bad. Because then, like, Zig plays worse than what he already was doing. So I'm going to try to tone it down on him, I guess.
Yeah. No, I get you.
Yeah, holy, I'm, like, going off topic so hard. But okay, yeah.
It's not off topic. It's about your experiences. That is the topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's this game that we all play. It's just ever changing. What's your personal opinion about the Dead Mercy horse?
You mean the dead, like, no mercy meta? Like,
Yeah.
the
Well, I
witch
mean,
is
just
dead?
like, well, because like, uh, there's no use beating a dead horse, like, that expression, but Blizzard does it anyway.
Yeah. Bing bong, the witch is dead. I
Yeah.
like that one. That one's funny. uh, okay, so I think Milani and TDT, they were having a big argument on what makes mercy meta. So, Mega was trying to say that it was, the Valkyrie. And TDT was trying to say that it was mostly the reses. So I said at first that I would agree more with TDT, right? And then I forgot to factor in the skybox that Mercy can get, right? So I think Mercy won't fall off the face of the meta. I think she'll just be toned down. The only issue is so console and PC, there's obviously like heroes that you can't play, like, or you can play, like, you can play them on PS4. It's just gonna be played differently, if that makes sense. Like, Ana PC players and Ana PS4 players are completely different. Um,
Yeah.
so the thing with Mercy is that it kind of screws over PS4 a lot. Now it's kind of like just support in general on PS4 is probably gonna be seeing a lot more Moira Lucio, and that would be like Moira Zen, Moira Lucio, just Lucio with something, because I think Lucio will never be a not like good thing on console at least,
Yeah.
because like you can play that at the same efficiency as any PC player, unlike Ana. Like Ana is probably one of like the biggest like differences between a PC and PS4 character. But yeah, so like I was saying, I'm probably predicting that it's gonna be Lucio in either Moira or Zen, and if it's a Mercy main, I just kind of feel bad for PS4 like tanks and DPS because it's
Support's
gonna
gonna rule.
be like supports are like I don't know how to describe it, but I think just the tanks and DPS are gonna be receiving just way less healing now if the Mercy meta is dead.
I don't know.
But
I don't know. I think
if you're playing,
because they might receive, because Mercy's a very constant healer, but you do have Ana who puts out a lot of heals. But like you said, she's more powerful on PC than console. But I
yeah,
don't
like
know. Sorry, go ahead.
sorry, no, you can go
Oh,
ahead.
I was gonna
just gonna
say
like,
that Ana was getting that buff I heard on console, where she's gonna have a higher aim assist thing for or she's gonna have aim assist for her teammates or something like that.
I don't. Well, since that PTR, like that doesn't like console, or I mean,
The
what's
PTR
it
is
called? The PCR can't run like PC people like can't like figure that out, you know, because obviously no controller, which is a kind of a feels bad because if console had PTR like they're separate, I think they could do more like different like changes for PS4, like you know what I mean?
yeah.
Because like so there's been about I think 2 changes between PC and PS4 that are like very one. Okay, the Ana one is pretty big, but the Torb Sim one was not big at all. Like that was like nothing. Because I just
Because
think they need to do that more. Like
you mean how they changed Torb on console only when to make his
yeah,
turret
like
do less damage?
I really liked the console only changes. Like they're usually like they were okay. Like the Ana one, that's huge. I'm just hearing about that now though, and
Oh.
I think they need to do the console changes more because
Like
I think that would balance
edit
out.
the
I think it
game
would
more.
change. I think it would make consoles meta very similar to PC meta, Like, it obviously is because of dive. Like, that's not something you can. That's not like a platform difference. But if other
Yeah.
metas come in, where it's like the high noon meta, the fucking, or sorry, the auto
Whoa,
meta.
whoa, whoa,
Yeah, yeah.
friendly. Whoa, I don't know if you heard the last stream, but I dropped an F bomb and like here and there, and it was just like
I've
whoa.
been trying real hard not to. Like, I've been saying hecking instead of other words.
Like yeah. Anyway, uh, you were saying?
So yeah, like I was saying, like I think the metas when they're not dive, I think they would represent better with console players, or they could make their own ones because I I I don't know, just like
See, that's
any hero that's like aim based, like McCree, Ana, Widow, Hanzo, like they don't get the same treatment. And
this is
obviously, if they buffed it too hard, it would be
OP.
it would be OP, right? But they can't really test it out besides at their own convenient, like the Blizzard PTR, like not the one that everyone can use, because there's no console PTR, right?
Mhm.
So only the people that either plug in their controller. I don't even think that even works. I've never tried it, but because
What?
there's only been 2 changes. If you plug in your controller to PC
Yeah.
and try to do like the changes, I don't think that would work, but yeah,
Huh.
that's like the only way I would think a console player would even try their PTR changes, which is why I think they abstain from doing them so much.
Hmm.
Like, obviously I don't want it like a console like and PC like changed like every single one, but I think there's definitely some of them that can happen.
Yeah. I get what you mean.
So I don't
No.
want to spurt any out of the top of my head because they're probably dumb because I haven't even thought about them, but I'm sure there's some that can happen. Like the Ana one, I would think that's a huge one, and that's I think one of the ones I would think of.
Yeah,
So
it
I
was
think
just
yeah,
to
that's
help with
really
the
good.
aim
I
to
just
make
think
it
it needs
more
to happen.
because there's a lot of things. That's one thing I don't like though, and I've explained this before, is that console has their meta and it's a professional meta, and then console people are like we should do this because it's the meta and it's meta. I don't like the fact that like we're gonna copy these guys because it's meta and because it's gonna work for us better. I prefer like building your own meta or finding your team synergy and seeing what works for you as a team rather than saying we're gonna run this and this and that because people use it. And yeah, there is what was I gonna say? There is logic in that because it works on a certain level, but then again, you as players have your own play styles and whatnot, and you got to find your own meta as well. And that is one thing I am a very fan of. I don't know. People can disagree with me and whatever. That's just what I think. Opinions or whatever.
Uh, so let's get this straight. Ladder and competitive play are different.
What is ladder? You keep
Ladder?
saying ladder. Is that a type of gameplay, like, or
No,
like I
that's
thought that was a
yeah, yeah.
person?
That's like your SR ladder.
I've never heard
Because
that
there's
term.
bronze, silver, gold, platinum. Are you climbing the ladder?
Oh, I see what
So
you mean.
ladder and competitive are different things. So ladder is like that button that says competitive play, right? And competitive is just outside of ladder, but you're still playing it competitive, not quick play. Like scrimmages, tournaments, leagues, that's all called competitive. Ladder is just referring to SR terms. Like I mean
Oh,
the actual competitive mode. But so I think ladder has this big issue on both platforms where they like, oh, Houston Outlaws are running fucking, or sorry, my bad, family friendly. They're running, let's just say, Sim-Tor meta on Nimbani attack, and all the people on ladder, they'll be like, oh, let's run that because they're running that. It's no, you should not do that. You should be running your own place. You should be doing your own thing. Like,
yeah.
you don't need to copy. That would be something you would do in competitive, like in a scrim. Like, let's say that the Simtor Numbani attack meta happens,
Oh gosh.
you could try that on competitive. Don't try that on ladder. Like, people are definitely not going to be comfortable with that unless it's something like dive where everyone got consumed by it. And if you weren't running that, you were probably not gaining elo or SR.
Yeah.
So unless it's something that's like over consuming your life, it probably shouldn't be something on ladder. Ladder, you should just be practicing your heroes.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds bad, practicing your heroes on ladder, and you would think like, oh, I'm gonna go practice Hanzo.
Yeah.
No, it's like, I mean like heroes that you play.
Yeah.
Like heroes that you're planning to play with your competitive team, or just that you want to play on on ladder. I mean.
Yeah. No,
So
I get you.
yeah, I would just use ladder as like a. So like this is like exactly what Siegel thinks. He thinks that ladder is basically just a practice tool, which is kind of what I'm saying right now.
Mhm.
And I totally agree with that. It to me it's just a practice tool. It's not something. It's just completely different from competitive.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I get you. No, it's really interesting. Just all this stuff. Was there anything you wanted to end the Team Watch episode with? Like any shout outs or like anything you wanted to let people know?
Uh, um.
If you don't want that, if you don't have anything in mind, that's fine.
Dr. Sheep and Gamer Jackie Chan carried the tournament.
Dr.
That's
Sheep.
about it.
Which tournament?
The Master and Diamond tournament, Saints won.
Oh, I think I casted that tournament.
Yeah, and you guys didn't bring in Gamer or Dr. Sheep, and they like absolutely carried. Oh, Keegan carried too.
That wasn't me. I didn't stay for the interviews. Okay, I don't know if you remember that, but I was already gone.
All right, but the interviews were BS. They brought in Shao and Zig. All right.
Well, talk to Amateur Gamer about that. Amateur Gamer's who's editing the thing anyway.
That's the shout out. I want Amateur Gamer to listen.
I mean, if I was had any say interview, I'd be like, oh, we needed. I don't remember Dr. Sheep and wait, who was the other one you said needed to be there?
Gamer is the May, and Keegan was the Mercy.
Gamer Jackie Chan. Oh yeah, no, that May was ridiculous. That was actually pretty cool. But yeah, we'll end the Team Watch episode here. Thank you for joining me, ZZOW. I'm sorry it took a while. We've been busy people. Well, I've been busy.
It's alright, dude.
Yeah, I'm just glad we finally got to it. Look forward to next week's episode, which might feature someone from the GM League. Or, well, I don't know. I say next week. I don't know when it's going to come, because I plan on pre-recording episodes anyway. Yeah, it's going to be cool regardless when it comes out. Maybe it'll come out sooner. Maybe it come out the day after this episode. Who knows? It's cool. We're flexible people. But yeah. Thank you again, ZOW, and you guys have yourselves a great day. And we'll cut it there. I just let my stream go on, and I say this every single time, and Amateur Gamer who cuts it is probably sick of hearing it. I'm just like, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm even explaining to you. Like, I'm gonna keep the stream open so fucking I can keep the outro, and YouTube doesn't cut me off, which is kind of stupid how it does that. Which is probably why Amateur Gamer used to say all the time, like, hey, give it a couple minutes before we start so it doesn't cut off. And, yeah, I don't know if you know that. Or if you've casted any time before or whatever, but, yeah.
Yeah, I casted, like, once. Amateur told me not to do it again because I was too toxic.
I wish I could...
I know in one of your team watches, I don't know if it was Zig, Mega, or Inkset, because those are like the only ones I really like hardcore listen to. But one of them you said like you liked Mr. Tubbs' analytical view.
Yeah.
And I did something super similar to that, except I was way too toxic with it. So he just told me not to do it again.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. But yeah, I'm just in the stream now then. But yeah, man, I'll catch you later. I'm probably going to cast some games right now.